Welcome to the Sermon in the Valley with Pastor Rob Eller. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to the podcast and share it with your friends and family. Thank you. O Lord, how long shall I cry for help? And you will not listen. Or cry to you violence, and you will not save. Why do you make me see wrongdoing and look at trouble? Destruction and violence are before me, strife and contention arise. So the law becomes slack, and justice never prevails. The wicked surround the righteous. Therefore judgment comes forth, perverted. How many more of these shootings do we have to endure before something changes? How many more? I'm sick to my stomach. I don't know what to say anymore about these. I saw the news and my heart sank, but at the same time I felt numb because we have endured so many of these. It just doesn't seem right anymore. But we've become numb to it. We become used to it because this is just part of what happens. And I just don't know what to do anymore about it. I was moved by the prayer that the Senate chaplain, Barry Black, gave on the Senate floor a couple days ago. He said, "Lord, when babies die at a church school, it is time for us to move beyond thoughts and prayers. Lord, deliver our senators from the paralysis of analysis that waits for the miraculous." I can't tell you how disgusted I am now with the phrase thoughts and prayers. While it seems like a good response to say that that we're praying for you, it's now become an excuse for inaction. I really don't know what to say anymore. There are too many of these shootings to count. I remember 10 years ago, and I can't believe it's already been 10 years, when Sandy Hook happened. I was a newly minted teacher. I was subbing that day. In fact, I was in the middle of a really weird and complicated long-term sub position. The details of that are irrelevant. But it was during my prep period, and I was sitting on my computer looking through news headlines. When I saw the news alert for shooting at an elementary school in New England. And my heart sank, and I felt sick to my stomach. Because now it became suddenly very real to me. Now, I was in a classroom, so no matter what school I was at, no matter what room I was in, it could very well happen to me. But it has to end. This inaction, it does nothing. I've seen images now. There's an image. I don't know how recent it is. If it's in relation to this most recent shooting or what. But it's an aerial image of the National Mall in front of Capitol Hill, and spelled out on the lawn with body bags is the phrase "thoughts and prayers." Thoughts and prayers mean nothing without action. My My late friend and colleague, the Reverend Ben Austin, used to always say, prayer without action is just psychobabble. And I can hear him saying it now in light of this recent tragedy. It's a paraphrasing of the passage from the New Testament, from James. Faith without works is dead. It doesn't matter. We can say thoughts and prayers so we're blue in the face, but until we take meaningful action, it won't make a difference. The time for thoughts and prayers is over. It's time for meaningful action. It's time for, as the prophet Isaiah said, to beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. It is time to take these weapons of destruction and war and get rid of them. It is time to use. It's time to take those guns, melt them down, beat them down, and turn them into instruments of good, not instruments of death. We shouldn't have to be dealing with this. The list of mass shootings in schools is much too long. I'm looking at a list of it right now, and I can't even tell you how many are there, and I can tell you it's an incomplete list because there are some that I know about that weren't on there. But we need to do something. The time to stand by has passed. The time for action is now. The time for ending the senseless destruction and violence in our schools, in our houses of worship, in our shopping centers, on the streets, in our homes. The time has come now to end it. The solution is simple. But like many things in life, the solutions that are the easiest and make the most sense are the ones we don't want to face. But we have to do it. We have to do it. We need to end this senseless violence, this like I said in the beginning, I'm at a loss for words with this. To quote a theologian, Miroslav Volf, he said, "There's something deeply hypocritical about praying for a problem you are unwilling to resolve. That's why thoughts and prayers are done. It's time for action. We can't pray away this problem. It's become clear we can't pray it away. It is time to take action." I never thought I never intended to get political with this podcast, and I'm not being political. I'm trying not to be political, but the time has come to do something drastic. The solution to gun violence is never more guns. It never has been. We hear about, we need to arm the teachers, we need more police in the schools. We have seen what happens. Guns lead to more deaths. More guns lead to more deaths. We've seen what happens when we put those quote-unquote good guys with guns in these situations. Ask the families in Uvalde, Texas. Ask the people who were close to President Reagan in the 80s when there was an assassination attempt against his life. He was surrounded by Secret Service, surrounded by good guys with guns, and it still didn't work. The solution is never more guns. The solution to fighting violence is never more violence. We need to act now. I'm calling on all of you, my listeners, to please contact your local representatives, contact your senators, contact those in government who represent you, and tell them it's time to end this senseless trend of violence. Tell them we need definitive action now. Not down the road. Now. Only when we take that definitive action can we make a change for the better. We thought we would reach this point after Uvalde, after Sandy Hook, after Aurora, after the shooting in the high school in Florida, after the shooting at the LGBTQ club in Colorado. We thought we could reach the point after many of these mass shootings, but it seems like we just kicked the can down the road. We say we can't turn this into a political fight now. If not now, when? We need to take action now. That is all I have for you today. I'd hoped I wouldn't have to do an episode like this, but apparently I have to. Because I can't stay silent. I can't stand back anymore and let these things happen. I have to be a voice for it. Voice for change. I have to do this. Like I said, please contact your local representatives. Tell them how you feel. Tell them it's time for change. And if they aren't willing to change, tell them to step aside and let someone else who can do it take their place. This has been the Sermon in the Valley with Pastor Rob. Have a blessed day.